Hey, we all go through that. Oh,
Hey!
we are live. Look at us. Look at us.
I just told Janine, I'm like, I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you, that I didn't answer a text. And she goes, I never think you're ignoring me. And then just you guys go live. And I go, well, sometimes I am, but I'm really not.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to be honest, there's a 9-second delay. So most of the time, if you're coming back for the replay, you did catch our conversation. We don't see it, but you did catch it. So I'm glad you explained that. Okay, let me listen.
Well, at least you know that I was apologizing for not getting back to her right away. So some of you don't even know who we are. I am Mary Grace Lewandowski. I'm an executive company vice president here at Wonderful Park Lane Jewelry. Janine Villano George, Senior Division Leader in Allentown, PA. I'm sitting here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're all over the country. We're all over the world, really.
Yeah.
But we do this call every Monday night.
Global
We like to
brand.
discuss our job a little bit, and in the hopes that those of you who are catching this will just catch the gist, catch the dream, because a lot of good things can happen. Whether you want to do this for a little time, a season or a reason, or a long time or whatever, it's like a really neat way to have extra money by next week.
Isn't that crazy? But that's true. When you say that,
Yes.
you laugh, but they can have money by next week.
Yes,
That's how
they absolutely can. As Janine's, we riff a little bit. I hope I'm not wasting time,
No,
but I
not wasting.
fill a little bit of time because Janine's
Yeah.
pushing buttons and getting this out to all the right places.
I am.
But truly, like my first career out of college I was a salesperson in the steel industry.
Disclosure.
And I was with that company for 10 years, and I lived in, transferred to 3 different cities, which is what brought me to St. Louis. But anytime I even transferred, even though it was the same company, when I transferred, my paycheck would be held up and I wouldn't get it for 3 weeks. And I think we were every other week at that time.
Yeah.
So really being able to say that you could have money next week is a really big deal, and less than a week, really. So we are here to help you make that happen.
I feel like it's what the young people call a flex. And it's a flex because if you are used to, like us who have been in direct sales for a long time, I only ever got paid once a month with my other company. So you really had to budget that, and you didn't know till the end of the month what you were really budgeting, right? Because you didn't know what your sales were till the 30th or the 31st.
Oh my gosh, once a month.
Monthly. So the fact that you are weekly paid here, and I always joke, it's not very weekly. You're paid every week.
Right? Every week. Yes, every week. Yeah.
And as long as you submit in sales.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do something.
Right. Well, we have to say that. I think sometimes we have to say that. So I think we have some people hopping on. I think we're live. Let me just check one more spot. Just let me know how was your weekend this weekend? Was it nice in St. Louis?
Like it is everywhere. No, it's sporadic. Like we had tornado warnings, and then today was like almost like you could maybe wear a light sweater outside. And as you know, like last week was 100 degrees here. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
I just want to make mention that I have let in all the members into the studio group because we do run 2 things here. We run our Grace and Grit Studio business page, and it is written that way. So if you follow that, you're following something that is public. It's public all over Facebook, and you can click the share button and share this on your walls. We actually do an extra price for that if you'd like to do that. You can also follow the Grace and Grit Studio group, which is a small group page that is really not small. It's 1,200.
I was going to say, strong. I think we're over 1,000.
1,200 members strong, but that is kind of the private group. So you can kind of catch us in both places. And then we're live on YouTube and we're live in all the other places over Facebook. So thank you so much to everyone. Thank you. Honestly, I cannot. There's somebody that typed this whole big long thing that got her jewelry last week. So thank you to her as well. So
don't thank Janine. Thank me.
Don't thank me. Thank Mary Grace. Thank you so much for the jewelry. I got it today. I was so shocked that I got 2 packages. I texted Brenda Gray and told her. So it's one of Brenda Gray's people. So thank you very much. Thank you. We're happy to have you.
And you're back on the call now. You really got to be considering this. Is her name Faith?
It's no, that's my person.
It won the week before. Okay.
Paula Mater.
Paula. Paula, thanks. I'm so glad you liked it. I have fun doing it.
Mary Grace runs an organization of thousands of people, yet she remembers people's names, which is mine.
Yeah, sometimes.
No, you're pretty good at it.
Who are you?
You're good with mine now. I'm impressed. All right. So listen, Monday nights are my favorite night of the week. And I never thought I would say that, but it's because I have the pleasure every single Monday night of interviewing our executive company vice president, Mary Grace Lewandowski, who already introduced herself, but I feel like she needs another formal one because she's that awesome. And I get to ask her 4 questions about our business. Your job is to sit back, listen, and comment. Let us know what you're thinking about what we talk about what we have to offer. I always make mention to the fact that if you were invited to this tonight by your stylist, which I'd really appreciate if you drop a tag to your stylist in the comments right now while I'm talking.
I know you're here.
I truly believe that it's an honor and a privilege if somebody asks you to be on this call, because we as stylists get to choose who we want to work with. We get to choose our teammates. Okay. We get to choose our colleagues. And in this particular situation, you were invited to come here because she or he thought that highly of you that they wanted to share the opportunity with you. So thank you for hopping in tonight. Thank you for taking the time with us. And we're going to get started because I already dropped the direct sales term. And I always like to start with Mary Grace. Please, would you explain to these fine people, like, why direct sales? What is it? What does it mean? And how does it differ from what we hear all the time, which is MLM, or multi-level marketing?
Yeah. Where do you hear that all the time? Just like people like
all over the internet.
Okay. I'm just curious.
All over the internet. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I fell into direct sales, as did you. We went by kind of happy accident, I used to call it. It was like I went to a show and I thought, oh, this seems so fun. And they had a little slip of paper where if you wanted information about the job, and I'm like, oh, there's a job. And I've always been the type of person that's open to whatever is around me, because you never know, right?
Yeah.
Sure. And I do say, which maybe I shouldn't say it, but I'm very honest and transparent. Like, I think if someone had said, have you considered doing direct sales? I'm afraid I would have put a barrier up immediately because I wouldn't have understood the word, or I would have thought it meant like, oh no, is that one of those things where you have to bug your family and friends or whatever? And I do think that's probably what people think when they hear direct sales or multi-level marketing. Okay, so here's the difference. Direct sales is what Park Lane Jewelry is. It's what I'm proficient in, what I've had a bunch of experience in, as does Janine and many of the people that are in our organization. And basically it's a party plan where we have the ability to show our product directly to a consumer, serving as a liaison between the company. But we're able to reward people too. We're referring us to their family and friends. And that's like all paid for by the company. Multi-level marketing, their deal, and we are more product based. We have a product that we show. We have a product that we sell. We have a product that we are thrilled with and are able to give lots of information about. Okay. Multi-level marketing, their deal is more of one of keeping track of their multi-levels and getting more of a recruiting based business. So getting customers, but then switching as many customers as they can into reps. And I don't understand enough about it because I haven't done it, but I'm sure people on this call have. But they literally have to keep track of the multi-levels that they build and assure that one doesn't get too big and the other one stays a certain size, because it determines how they get paid. So it's more of a one customer at a time, one rep at a time. Whereas ours is more of a party plan, like we can show our product to bunches of people at a time. We definitely can sell to individuals and do, but we're able to host like little parties online or in homes. So direct sales has made such a significant impact on my life that I feel like it's my job to get on the rooftops and scream out about it, because I don't want people to make the mistake I would have made, which would have been like, oh no, but really it's running your own business with none of the overhead, none of the risk. And one of my favorite stories involves a really famous author and financial planner who wrote a book, The Automatic Millionaire. And the book is really about how a lot of millionaires are just living next door to you, living simple lives and stuff. But what makes them a millionaire? And so often it's investing and the way that your own money can grow. and his name is David Bach. And he was talking about how when he first started his company, he wasn't getting any takers on what his plan was of investing. What he was getting was pushback. My mom just told me a story like this the other day about her and my dad, about how at one time a financial planner told him that they should take $500 a month and invest it. And they laughed and said,
They
we
didn't
don't
have
have
that.
$500 a month. And that's what David Bach was finding. And then he kind of made it a mission to help these people overcome that without topsy-turvy in their life. And he said, he literally, these were his words, and that's when I discovered direct sales. He goes, it's the everything. It's just you run it around your hours and your time, and you can become a millionaire by making that little a bit above money every month and investing in it. It's just extra. So I love to tell that story because he's, award-winning author and financial planner, and he is a proponent of direct sales. And of course, he's almost as important as me, and I'm a proponent of direct sales.
I love when you talk about David Bach and the Automatic Millionaire, because I think a lot of people are in that situation and they can relate to it. If somebody
He's
said to them
everybody.
today, yeah, I don't know that number's changed. If somebody said to people that are watching this call, or just friends and family, hey, if you just have an extra 500 to invest, we can. Some people are like, I don't have that, right? Where
No.
if you could start your own little side gig from home and take that money and put it into investments and portfolios, you're going to make it grow. You're going to make your money work for you. And that is exactly what
Yes.
we try to teach you here at Direct Sales.
And I know I go all over the place every week, but you just reminded me of this,
Okay.
and I feel this need to say it. But one year for Christmas, I got my husband, those like the Idiot's Guide to whatever, the
Yeah.
big yellow books, or the Dummies or whatever, something for
Yes.
dummies.
The
It
dummies.
was called The Idiot's Guide to Getting Rich. And the very first chapter was open your own business. And they said, even if you're not going to make money in your business, you'll make money in your business because of the money that you'll save, because of the write-offs that you'll have. Well, here in direct sales, we also do make money in our business. We're able to have all kinds of write-offs because of what we do. And sometimes that appeals to people more than the idea of the money that we'll make, because I don't know that they really believe we make money, but we do lots
Right.
of it. But they love the idea that, like, okay, so tonight when you got on this call, your cell phone was an expense. Once you decide to be a park laner, now it's a write-off, and there's many more. Or all the jewelry you buy from now on could be a write-off. Like, just think of the benefits that way too. So just want to put that out there.
I'd like to, since we're talking about this, just ask the gallery here, the people that are watching, drop in the comments. Let me know what an amount of money would you like to make extra every single month? Like, what would help you? Would $500 a month be better for you? Would you like 1,000? Do you just need 150 a week? Like, what? Everybody knows their finances. What would help?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all, I don't want you to all put $1 million a month, because that can happen, but that's going to happen over time. What I'm saying is, realistically, because that number is different for everybody. And I've always believed that. In fact, I think when you first started, you said you just needed to make an extra $100 or something like that.
I just wanted to be able to take something off an expense from my husband that gave him anxiety. And I thought, what about if I could do all the groceries? And believe it or not, at that time, for a family of 6, we used to be able to do groceries for like 100, 150 a week. I don't know that would fly today, but that was 30 years ago. But yeah, so I set out a goal that I would make $400 a month. And like my very first party, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm halfway there. And it's like, but it was really cool. And he was so happy because I had that goal.
And the rest is history, right?
And
The
the
moment
rest
you
is
realize
history.
that when you invest in yourself and you do a direct sales type of a thing, you sign up to Park Lane, you say yes to trying and dipping your toe.
Yes.
Literally, the rest is history. So
Yes.
tell me, why is jewelry so popular in the direct sales realm?
Well, there are many different products that you can represent in direct sales. And as a matter of fact, let me just put it out there right now that Janine and I are both products of this, but Park Lane Jewelry has a really neat program called the Direct Appoint program. We actually bring you in at levels commensurate with what you've already achieved, like any other company in the whole world would outside of direct sales. So like if you've had experience in direct sales or multi-level marketing, we'll look at that too, even though they're different. If you've had experience in those arenas, we'll look at that and we'll say, okay, we're going to give you the the benefit of the doubt because you've achieved this. So we're going to bring you in a higher title with a higher pay. So I just want to make sure you guys know that, because we all know people that are in direct sales, and feel free to recommend them to us. This might not be for you. I hope it is, but it definitely might be for them. So anyway, so we both came from other companies. Janine came from baskets. You can probably guess the company. I came from candles. You can probably guess the company. And we are both very thrilled with our companies and loved it. But really fell into them. You know, it's just like I said, I went to a show. I didn't look at other companies at the time. I was just like, oh yeah, I'd like to do this. Well, when that company started showing signs of weakness, so to speak, I thought, okay, I better look for something else. And I specifically went looking for jewelry. And the reason that I did is because I was so much more savvy by that time in the whole marketing thing, that I knew that jewelry was the place to be for many reasons. And I'm going to go over them real quick, at least some of them. But one is like, when you're picking something that you want to sell, you want to pick a product that is universally loved, not just a certain demographic. And jewelry has an audience of really basically everybody, every type of person. It's one of the number one gifts in the world, candy, flowers, and jewelry. I never asked you this, but I bet when we got awards at my other company, it was usually jewelry. People would work very hard to win jewelry, you know. So it was obviously popular. It withstands the test of time. It's not a fad, you know, and yet it is considered consumable because it does change with the trends and the outfits and the seasons. So people don't say, oh, I have my one necklace, I'm done. It's like outfits, you know, so that it's really fun. I loved the fact that it was considered consumable. From a vantage point of somebody who represents jewelry, it is so cool, you guys, that we wear our product. Like, I probably got 4 different compliments just on my arm party today. And that's such an easy bridge into, oh, that makes me so happy. This is what I do. Hey, if you want me to send you my website, you can check out everything. You know, like, it's so easy to find people that you've never met before and be able to get them into your funnel, you know? Also, our customers are doing the same thing for us because they're getting so many compliments. They're out wearing their products. So that's significantly a huge factor. It's very light and easy to ship or carry around. You don't need a whole big storage area for it, like I used to need for my candles, like a whole extra garage. And it's not going anywhere. You know, when I say it withstands the test of time, forecasts show $43 billion.
That's insane.
Yes. In this type of jewelry going forward in the next couple of years. And it's just like, it's getting more popular, if anything. So jewelry really is the place to be. And when the Levine family started this company in 1955, they were smart enough to hire consultants to tell them what product to represent. They didn't think jewelry was going to come back, but all 3 consultants came back with jewelry as number 1 in deciding a lot of the reasons that I just did. And you know, now I've lived it. I've been with this company for 16 years and doubled, tripled what I was able to sell in candles because of all of the things I just said, and have had so much darn fun doing it. Yeah.
So we asked them to answer, and they did oblige us about how much they would need extra each month. And I want you to speak on this because the numbers are not crazy. Okay. Some people said an extra $800, $700, $1,000 or more. One gal said $300 a week just to cover daycare. And one gal said, I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. Right. That's what direct sales can do for you.
That was my thing with Paul too. We would talk about, I said, I just wanted financial freedom. I wanted no anxiety. You know, it's a huge gift to be able to give to anybody, you know, so.
And it's so interesting to me because I didn't know you back then, but like what you did to start is how I was. I just wanted to take a bill or 2 away, you know, like I didn't want to have it all saddled on him all the time, even though we both worked. Like, I just always felt like, you know, I needed to help with that. So I feel like we all can commiserate with
once
that.
I got into it, I heard about people like me now that were making over $500,000 a year or whatever.
But hear about people like you.
Well, I didn't think I would be one, and you didn't think you'd be one. I mean, you know, I was just happy to pay for the groceries, but then it's wonderful too, because it keeps you continually like dreaming and challenged and going if you want to. You're like, well, what if I did this? Like one of my reps tells a story about how she just wanted to stay home. It's similar to the one that said about daycare, but she just had to pay for the insurance. If she could pay for their family's insurance, then she could stay home. And she said her very first like paycheck, like she needed to make $500 a month, let's say. And her very first paycheck was $500. And her husband goes, think you can do 1,000?
Yeah. Her husband got real involved in that, I bet, the second he saw
yes!
that. That's something that's fantastic, actually. So now
fun.
that we know what we do and we know why jewelry fits into it, tell me specifically why Park Lane Jewelry is the answer, because there's a lot of different jewelry companies out there.
Okay, so in my other company, when I would, basically hire someone to do it alongside me, and I loved it. I really loved it. But I did, there were like minimums and stuff. People would be like, "What do I have to do?" And I said, "You have to do like I can't remember what it was, but I'd be like $1,800 a month, like, and really that sounds like a lot, but it's easy." Blah 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 blah. Well, seriously, with Parkland, you guys, seriously, you don't have to do anything. We have absolutely no minimums or quotas. So sometimes people go, okay, when's the other shoe going to drop? What's the hidden whatever?
Yeah.
And from the beginning right here, you guys, as God is my witness, like we do not have like things you have to do. What we do is we lead with incentives that will make you hopefully want to do more or get a delight out of doing more, but never like your life comes first. You work it around your life. And sometimes people will say, well, I don't have time. You know what? We all have time to get rich. But no, we all have time to change our circumstances if we know that it's going to happen. I think where we say we don't have time is like, risking that nothing will happen. Well, with this, you just plan it around what you can do. You do it when you can do it around your schedule. I don't know your schedule. You don't know mine, but we figure it out, especially with the whole online thing. And there's no, like, if you go months without doing anything, no big deal. And you always keep your title. So like Janine is a senior division, which is a high ranking executive title. She could take off the next few months, the next year, 5 years, and she could come back and she would still be a senior division and get the profit on her own sales that she got going into it. So that's a big one. So I wanted to start with that one. What else there's so many reasons that Park Lane is so powerful and the place to be. And one is they've been around since 1955. So they're an established company, cash rich, debt free. And yet they're forever changing. They're really staying up with the times. They're never taking anything away, but they're always adding things. I swear to gosh, I really think we get new jewelry almost every day. Definitely every week, but I honestly think it really could be almost every day. So that is super cool. They're so good to us. They invest so much in us because they can afford to. That's a biggie. But they're programs. It starts with the customer sale. Buy 2 for regular, get 4 for half. Spend $90 and get an item of your choice for $35. And depending on the times of year, like sometimes are notoriously trickier than other times for consumers. They will do extra special things just to make it easier on us, to make it easier on our customers. Sometimes it's highway robbery where I honestly wonder how they're making any money. But that customer sale does a couple things. Okay, first of all, the number one reason people want to share us with their friends or anything like this with their friends is they want a deal for the friend. Even though they'll get a bunch of free stuff for having a show or whatever, their number one priority is that their friends get a deal and that their friends enjoy the event. Okay. We deliver huge. And a lot of people are like, that's for the customer, the sale always. And we're like, yeah. Okay. The other thing is that by using this sale, the customer is absolutely thrilled and they're getting a ton of jewelry. The value is unbelievable. Well, we love that they're getting a ton of jewelry because they're wearing it and we're getting more referrals that way. We also love that they're getting a ton of jewelry because our average order is over $100. They're thrilled with that because of how much they're getting. We're thrilled with that because we get paid a percentage. And, I've heard of like $5 jewelry or whatever. I'm like, how much do you have to sell in order to, it might be easy to sell, but how much do you have to sell in order to be able to make that car payment or whatever you are doing this for? So we love that. And then the hostess program, we honestly, it's like $400 to $1,000. Almost every single time when we have a hostess in free or discounted jewelry,
Yeah.
that we can reward them in. And then we're the highest paid in the industry. And we have any perk that you can imagine. I'm almost hesitant to say them all because I feel like people are bah, 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 bah. You're like, I'm the Charlie Brown, the teacher. But there's so much. We're so spoiled. We have 2 trips a year that we can work towards. And not just for the upper crust, like brand new people win these trips. We have a Mercedes car, free jewelry every month. I mean, one thing is so simple, you guys. If you're buying jewelry, you should sell jewelry. If you're going to be your only customer, you should do this, because
Yeah.
what if you could get a paycheck every week back and have the write-offs I just talked about a minute ago and all of the perks, even if you're your only customer, because you're getting like the friends and family discount then, which is super
for
cool.
one whole year.
Yeah.
You can do it for one whole
Yeah.
year.
And Park Lane allows all that. Like we
Mhm.
know people do that. We're all about it. So I think I mentioned almost everything, didn't I?
You did.
About the
You did.
wonderfulness of Park Lane.
But I have to tell you, I feel like this is always my favorite part, because you seem to always know the right thing to say. And it is why now, because I know a lot of these people are probably sitting here thinking to themselves, well, why is now a good time? Why is now the time to join Park Lane?
First of all, the day you hear about this is the right time. The day you hear about this.
Amen.
A very simple thing is, how soon do you want to start making money? How soon do you want to start doing this before somebody else that does it or whatever? It's just like, and the success principle is called to lean in. You don't overthink it. This is very difficult for people, and I understand it. But you have to trust that, just like when you're driving a car, and if you're driving at night, what if you were so worried that when you turn that next corner that your headlights weren't going to be there? Well,
Yep.
your headlights are going to be there. We're here. So like we're here. We're here with systems. We're here to help you get a good start. You're not alone. Okay. And I think that's mostly fears people get. I don't know if I'd be good at it. I don't know if anyone have a show. I don't know this. And it's like, you know what? You're not going to know any of that unless you give it a go. And that's why we make it so easy. I fear that we make it too easy, and that people think there's got to be a catch. There's got to be a catch. You didn't know this yet, but I'm gonna volunteer at Children's Hospital here in St. Louis.
Oh.
What I had to go through to get this volunteer job for free, no
Insane.
money.
Yeah, insane.
Unbelievable. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe we make it too easy. But anyway, it is easy. So what you do in order to get yourself started is you book a show. And you have this show, but everything we do that night is for you. Okay. You're watching us differently because you're going to be doing it. So you're like learning. It's like on the job training. You get the hostess benefits of all the free jewelry that we just talked about a little bit ago. And you get the paycheck should you decide to, like, okay, I'm going to do it. In addition to that, for $129, you get to choose $500 worth of jewelry of your choice. And then that 129 is one of your first write-offs, right? And it also gives you everything else, which I don't even want to make you dizzy with it, but all of the access to the training materials and, ability to take people's credit cards with no charges or anything against you. And and all of the perks that go with running your business. It's all for $129 a year,
Insane.
you guys. We don't get the 500 in jewelry when we do our $129 a year, but you do as a new rep. And if you decide it's not for you, guess what? You have to keep it. You have to keep the jewelry. You have to keep the money. We make you keep it all, everything. You will leave here with more than you came with, regardless. And it is a good time because we're at a change of season. Yeah. And whenever you're at a change of season, like so many people are just getting into summer. And then what do you know? Like July, it's next month. So July, we unveil our new fall line. And here you go. You got your toes in the water, you got your feet wet, whatever, swimming somehow. And you have tried this out. And then bang, new fall line going into our busy selling season of the year. And you're trained, you're ready, you're the jewelry person. It's perfect.
And how can you help? You can book a party off of the stylist who invited you here. Honestly, there is no pressure. Nobody's going to push you to purchase. Nobody's going to push your friends to purchase. We simply show the jewelry, we roll out our sale, our everyday buying plan, and we show them how they can get it at a discount. And if they'd like to place an order, we'd love to help them with that. That
Yeah.
is how simple we do our job every single day. Mary Grace, oh my goodness. I dropped the link to the Google form in the comment section. Do you want to speak on that for a second?
Yeah, fill out the Google form, fill it out completely, and you can be like Faith and Paula and be a winner. Be sure to put in what kind of jewelry you like, because I love to curate it to your taste. You don't have to sign up to be a winner. It's just a random
Nope.
drawing. But do
Yep.
share this with other people too, and bring them back next Monday, because you just never know. We don't know what people are looking for, but I feel like everybody should try Parkland.
And I love that if you're on this call tonight, that you're going to take a moment and invite somebody to come on the call next week, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Mary Grace, thank you so much for taking time
Bye,
with us.
girls.
See you
Bye,
all next
everybody.
week. Bye-bye.
Okay.